As weird as it may seem when you're looking at this shoe, this is a zero drop shoe. Let me explain how it's possible. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video we are looking at the Altra Via Olympus or Via Olympus. This is essentially the first max cushion shoe from Altra, the famous zero drop brand. They're not using zero drop, by the way, they're using balanced cushioning, which is their way of saying zero drop. But Altra is known for their zero drop shoes, and this is the first one coming with a higher stack height. Let's go directly into the specs, but before that, this shoe was sent to us by Altra. You can read our written review on the website, metaendurance.com. Both Tim and myself wrote our reviews, and you can go check them. The link is in the description. We have been paid by Altra to produce some content on YouTube and on Instagram. This review, however, is not sponsored, and Altra doesn't get to preview it before it goes live to you on YouTube. So this is how we do things, and the reviews are not sponsored because we want to stay transparent and honest with all of you, just so you know. Weight for this size, 10.5, which is half down from my US 11 true to size, 310 grams. So, you know, on the heavier side for a daily trainer. On the average for max stack height, max cushion shoes, nothing specific here, and you can kind of feel the weight when running in this shoe. But I think that's also due to the padding of the upper, which gives you that sensation of, you know, a heavier shoe. But okay, yeah, the weight isn't something really specific to discuss here. Stack height, 33 millimeters in the heel, 33 millimeters in the forefoot for that 0 millimeters drop, sorry. Width of the platform, it's a very wide platform, totaling 305 millimeters of width. So that's combining the width in the heel, in the midfoot, and in the forefoot. And you can go check all those metrics, compare the metrics from this shoe against other shoes on our Shoe Super tool on the website metaendurance.com. But here really the you know, outstanding parts are the width in the forefoot and in the heel, super wide, providing for that inherent stability, a lot of it, which is great if you're looking for that. Last but not least, Durometer score, here for that Ego Max TPEE based midsole, we're looking at 32.8 on 100, which is an average for, you know, all shoes combined, a bit higher than other TPE based foams, compounds, but you will understand how it works in the right section of this video. Price of this shoe, $170, 180 euros. Again, one of those brands applying a small difference between the US and EU prices. The price, I think, is fair if you're looking for this shoe. Compared to other similar models, Bondi 8, More V4 from New Balance, it's maybe a tad higher. The durability, however, on this shoe is probably better than its competitors, which will be a positive to factor in your decision if you're considering this one against other max stack height shoes. Upper, it is visually very plush. I mean, I guess you can see it here when I'm turning the shoe like this. Everything looks super plush and comfortable. The heel is super padded. You can feel it when you're playing with it with your fingers. The laces are on the thicker side. The tongue is super padded. The mesh in the forefoot isn't super thick, but the rest of the construction is, you know, super padded. A bit too much for my liking. It definitely gives you that feeling of comfort, good lockdown. You know, that material coming, wrapping nicely your foot provides for a nice lockdown. No doubt here. It's a warm upper, so we know winter months going into them right now. This shoe will be quite nice to be used. The heel is quite stout. I mean, you can push a bit on it, but it's not one of those super pliable, unstructured heel. And of course, one of the Altra features, the toe box. Lots of width, lots of volume, not as much as, you know, original Altra shoes. This is one of their original foot shape fit, so the widest of all their foot shapes. They have the original, the standard, and the slim. Slim, for instance, is Vanish Carbon. Standard will be Mont Blanc Boa. Here you have the original, which is the widest. But I would say even the widest here isn't as wide as the early Altra shoes that some of you may have experienced. So, you know, very wide, but maybe not as wide as the early ones. if that makes sense. However, toe box volume and especially toe box width, plenty of it, and your toes can splay out very nicely. Perfect if you're looking for that. And that really helps also for the stability, because you really have all those toes coming here and being nicely set in stone in the forefoot and able to get that nice toe off dynamic and, you know, push nicely without any movement. So lots of stability coming from that as well. And that's of course one of the Altra known features. Right of the shoe, Ego Max midsole TPE. I really like that midsole on the Mont Blanc and Mont Blanc Boa. Very, you know, not necessarily soft, but on the softer side of things. Lots of dampening, lots of cushion, and still a very homogeneous, composed ride. One of those where you can really feel you're in control, but you're supported by a nice midsole. I was looking a bit for that same sensation here. I would say it's a bit firmer on the Via Olympus, and it doesn't provide you with the same level of cushion, of softness at least. You have some deep cushion on this shoe, but it's a denser deep cushion, if that makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense to have something like this in your rotation, at least that type of foams. Having all your foams too soft or too firm isn't necessarily sound, so this sort of like golden middle here, I would imagine it's important to have it as well in your rotation, and this shoe fulfills that role quite nicely. It is, however, on that, let's say, not so bouncy, not so dynamic type of ride, and that comes again from that a bit firmer ride in the midsole. If you're looking for something for your easy runs and long runs at easy paces, I think this shoe makes a lot of sense if you don't have anything with a lower drop in your rotation. If you already have something with a 4mm drop, you're not necessarily interested in this, especially because I believe that huge rocker here in the forefoot, which is a very nice feature, removes a bit of that zero drop sensation. I believe Altra measures the drop, you know, somewhere either here or here, but not necessarily at the bottom of the rocker. And if they were to do it, this shoe for me would have a 2 to 4mm drop. You can feel a bit of that sensation of being, you know, propelled forward and that drop essentially. But, you know, it all comes to how you measure things, and I will not cut this shoe in half just to measure it. But it feels like a 2 to 4mm drop, and it makes also a lot of sense, as I believe it competes nicely against the Bondi 8s and the Morphe 4, which are in that 4-5mm of drop ballpark. I didn't mention, but important as well, regarding the fit, and that's also something that was not great with me for the ride of this shoe. I received half a size down and it felt way too short, so I had my toes bumping here in the forefoot area against the toe bumper essentially. So that was a bit of a drawback, and it didn't really help me liking the ride of the shoe as much as I would have liked. I would go true to size and certainly not half down, and I would like to try this shoe again in my true to size, but that's about it. Outsole, lots of rubber coverage, lots of thickness for that rubber outsole here. Lots of durability, no doubt whatsoever. Stability is very good on this shoe. So, you know, looking for a long run, easy run, stable shoe with that lower drop, to have something like this in your rotation with a deep cushion sensation on the firmer, or at least, you know, average plus placement on the soft to firm scale. Go check the Via Olympus. I think it's worth being given a try in a shop, and maybe even you know, purchasing it, trying it, and returning it if you don't like it. But I believe most people will like it because it's something different and yet quite pleasant. I hope it makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today. Enjoy your ride. And let's put something here on the screen. Altra video. Let's do Altra Mont Blanc. I think this is a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.